Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the previous video we had left off our registration page in this state, and now in this video we are going to continue developing the UI for our registration page. So without anything further to do, let's get into it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to go to our input form and we're going to add to our input form our name text field. So what is our name text field? Well, if I open up our design files and I bring them over to the screen, you're going to see that we have these three text fields, one of which is name, email, and password. So we're going to start off by adding our name text field. So what we're going to do for that is that I am going to create a new widget, and I'm going to call this widget underscore name text field. Once I have that, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to return. And what am I going to return? Well, I'm going to go to our login page, and then I'm going to go down to where we have our email text field. I'm going to copy all of the code inside of the function. Then I'll just close the login page. I'll come back, and then I'm gonna remove this return statement and paste all of the stuff in. So we are going to return a text form field, and this text form field is going to have some properties inside of it. So the things that we're going to change first of all is that we're going to, for now, keep the set state to remove the set state statement inside of it, and just do that. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is that for our validator, I'm going to remove the second check that we do for that our input contains an @ sign, and we're going to just check that we enter name or our input length is greater than 0 or is not equal to 0. Then I'm going to change our hint text to name, and then we'll still keep autocorrect false, and I'll just do Alt-Shift-F and then Command save. Then I'll copy my name text field. I'll go to the top of my input form, and after my image selector widget, I'll add my name text field. I'll do Alt-Shift-F, Command save, and hopefully our name text field should appear. The next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to copy my name text field function. I'm going to paste it 2 times. And once I'm just going to rename my name text field to email text field. So once we have the function named updated, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to add the second check that we were saying, where it was to check if our input contains an @ sign. So all we have to do is input contains and an @, and then that should pretty much fix the problem for us. We'll still keep set state as empty, and we'll update the hint text to email. And the error message is all valid. I'm going to do Command save. Then I'm going to go up, and for our name text field, we forgot to update the error message, so I'm going to just update it to please enter a name. Once we have that, I'm going to go down to the name text, the second name text field that we copied, and I'm going to change this to password text field. I'm going to change the error message to please enter a password. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to set obscure text property for our form field to true. And so it's true. Then once we have that, I'm going to change the hint text to password. And then I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command save. Now I'm going to go back to our input form. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after our name text field, input our email text field. And then after that, I'm going to add our password text field. With all of these text fields added, I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, and I'm going to do Command save, and hopefully all of the 3 text fields should show up. Okay, so once we have this, the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to create the sign up button or the registration button. And if I bring our designs on screen, you're going to see that the registration button is similar to our login button, and all that differs is our actual text. So for that, we can again go to our login page, and then we can go to our login button, and I can copy the login buttons, and then I can go back to a registration page, and then I can paste this here as a widget, and then I can name this to _register button. I can update the text to register. Then inside of the home pressed, I can remove everything. Then I can also remove the tertiary check that we do, and then the actual loading circular progress indicator. And then I can do Alt-Shift-F. And then all I have to do is copy my register button, go to my input form, and then after the password text field, add the register button. Then we can do command save. Oh, and we don't want to add our actual register button inside of our input form because this is not an input, just logically speaking. So what we can do is that we can go to the top to our sign up page UI, and after our input form, we can add our register button. Then we can do command save. Yes, so we have now the registration button also showing up. Okay, so the last thing that we have to add is that we have to add this button that once clicked will take us back to our login page if we accidentally came onto our register page. So for that, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a new function, and I'm going to call this function back to login button or login page. So I'm just going to do widget, and then I'm going to go back to login page button. And then once we have this function, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to return a container. This container is going to have a height, and the height is going to be the device height multiplied by 0.06, and then this is going to have a width, and the width is going to be our device width. And then what we're going to do is we are going to have now a child, and this child is going to be an icon, and this is going to be the icon that gets displayed. So I'm going to do icons.arrow back, and then we're going to define the size for our icon, and the size is going to be 40. Then I'll just add the trailing comma and semicolon, and then I'm going to do command save. And then the final thing that I have to do is that I'm going to wrap my container inside of a gesture detector to actually detect any events that happen on our actual icon. So there we have the icon in, and then just add the trailing semicolon and the comma. Then for our gesture detector, we'll have an on tap function, and then this on tap is for now going to be empty. Then all I'm going to do now is copy my back to login page button. I'm going to go to the top of our sign up page UI, and then I'm going to rename this to back to login page button. Once we have this, I'm going to do command save, and hopefully the login back button for our login page should also show. So the last thing I'm going to do is that I'm just going to update the name for our UI generation function from sign up page to actually registration page UI. And I'm just going to click on rename symbol, and then I'm going to call this registration page UI. And then this should automatically update it inside of our scaffold as a child too, and do command save. And now if I reload the app, you're going to see that our actual registration page shows up. Okay, so now in the next video, what we're going to do is that since we have our registration page UI completed, we're going to implement our navigation service, which is going to allow us to actually navigate between pages inside of our application. And then once we're done with that, we could actually move towards actually creating a user inside a database and registering them with Firebase. So with that, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.